Welcome to our free YouTube creator training library brought to you by the Senior Tuber community.
All right, so tonight is on channel optimization and we're going to do customization, but it's mostly about this page. And I just wanted you to take a look at it because it's got a lot to do with how you want to be received by your audience, how you want to brand yourself, and you have a lot of flexibility. And you're going to hear me use the term free real estate a lot because YouTube offers you a lot of places to let people know you. And we're going to talk about how you can utilize each of these pieces of property, right? Free real estate for you so that you can maximize your reach, your efforts, and maybe even to increase your income. So what we're going to do is you're going to go over to the YouTube studio, and then you're going to go over to the left column where it says customization. And we're going to start right at the top. There's 2 tabs. We're going to try to get through at least one of the tabs today. Okay. So under the profile, we're going to talk about your banner image. Now, you just saw my banner. You see how you can see everything here, but you don't know if you could see it on all other devices. So it's really important that when you do put up your banner, that you make sure it shows up on how it looks on a TV, how it looks on any devices from, if you have a tablet or your mobile, you want to check it because I usually have to create several versions before I get it right. And so what I do is I go to these are the dimensions that you want is 2048 by 1152. And what that is I guess maybe the maximum or the regular, but it has to be at least this amount. And when you create it, you want to make sure your most important stuff is in the middle. Like you see mine, like you can make it fit a TV size screen, but make it images or flowers. I mean, it could just be anything as long as it's not the words or the thing you want people to see the most. And especially when you're on a phone, you're not going to see a lot of it there. What are you going to do once you get to the images? You can create it in Canva or wherever else you want to. You just come in here, you could change or remove the one that you have, and then you upload it from wherever you have it stored. Now, what you want to know is what do you put in here, right? This section right here, show you. This entire section right here, this is the first thing that people are going to see. How you display this, what you say, and what you do here is going to make or break a new visitor, whether they want to stay or not. And you don't care if people leave because they're not your people. You care if the right people left because they didn't know what you were all about. So how you convey yourself is really important. Now, this is not where we're going to be talking about choosing your niche and choosing your colors and things like that. But hopefully, when you're ready to put together your channel, you're going to know what your colors might be. And if you don't, then try to stay consistent. Let's say you don't know if they'll eventually turn into purple and yellow, but right now you want to use green and yellow. You can do that and then change it later. You can do that, but try to keep whatever you do consistent. So if you have your profile picture, if you have your banner, anything else that you can see, try to keep font the same or colors the same or some languaging the same. But you also do not want to repeat yourself and do as I say and don't do as I do. Okay, I have to make sure I let you know that because I have seen YouTuber written a little bit too much here and I have cut it down, believe it or not. So what happened here is I have the senior tuber here and then I have what I want people to know the second they see my banner. It's YouTube training for mature creators. Now, I'm going to be showing you how that segues into the rest. I call it combing. How people and you, when you're setting up your channel, you're going to be combing everything that can be adjusted or personalized or customized. And other people are going to be combing it to see your story. Each thing you do is going to bring you to another place where people will learn a little bit more about you. So you don't have to fit everything into the banner. What you want to do is say, okay, YouTube training for mature creators. Okay, what is that all about? And we are going to go into what's under there, but just want to start with that. Just keep that in mind. How are you going to unfold your story? As if you're an author, as if you have a trailer for your new movie out. What will you do to tell them enough that makes them want to go to the next place? Okay, so after that, you have the second part, which is your picture. It could be a profile picture, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to try to stay with the best jargon I can. So when you keep with the jargon, it helps you when you're communicating to somebody else, and when they're communicating with you, you'll be familiar with it. So all channel artwork, when it's your channel, is going to be round. You can't have it square. So you want to make sure that you say as much as you can or show as much as you can inside this profile picture. It says it's recommended to use a picture that's at least 98 by 98 or 4 megs, using a ping or GIF, no animation. And make sure your picture follows the YouTube community guidelines. And if you want, you can look and learn more here. This is another important piece. So I originally just had my picture in there. And this is what happens. Let's say I'm a bread maker, right? And I go to, I want to go find a bread maker on YouTube to learn about making bread. Just for anybody who doesn't know, if you see a square or rectangular image, that's a video. If you want, go to your filter section and click on channel, and then anything that's a channel will be round. And so now anything I select is going to be a channel. Now just take a look at some of these, right? If I had a picture of me, now you can see this guy's a chef, and I don't know what that's supposed to represent. But here's a slice of bread. Some of these, you're going to know what they're doing because of their profile. So if you have just your picture, what is your picture saying about you? But I also am in a place where people would probably connect with me. I wanted my picture there, so they either know they want to learn more about me or not. And you could do that. So that's why I put under mine senior tuber in there, so that they could say, what is a senior tuber? And that's what's next. So you start seeing some of these and you say, okay, hey, the bread maker, let me see what this is about. Now, this is not the ideal picture, but I will look at this and say, what is that about? It says the bread machine love. Okay, it's a bread machine. And then you'll see their handle, which we'll go over, and you'll see a section all about their channel. And that we'll be talking about tonight as well. But that's going to help them know whether they want to click on it and learn about you. So your profile picture needs to be something that gets people to want to look to the right or want to read more if they're coming from your channel. Once they get there, let me show you channel. So if they go here, what do they want to do once they see that? They probably want to read all of this. All right. So then next we have your name of your channel. It's important that if you need people to find you based on your name, then coming up with something that nobody's heard of before. And, let's say you are the bread maker and you want to call it Zero, my Zero Inc. Okay. No offense to some of these companies that have names that chances are they have a lot bigger following. But if you want to be found, then it's really good if you have something very descriptive that's about what you do and what your channel is about. So if you want to have the bread maker or the best bread maker or your favorite bread maker or the gluten-free bread maker, that's where people will say it. The keto bread maker. Those are the things that will actually narrow down your audience, but it'll get you the audience that's searching for specifics. I always say it's something like the difference between going to a GP and a specialist if you're going to the doctor. Because a GP figured that would be the bread maker, okay? And the specialist would be the keto-friendly bread maker. So it's a big difference. And what do you want? Do you want to be the GP or the specialist? It's all up to you. Don't be afraid of not getting people because you have narrowed down your niche. You have actually put yourself in a better position most times to receive more people who need you, and they become more loyal viewers for you and possibly more money for you. Okay, so then we're going to go to the handle. Here's another thing. What my handle used to say Fran Asaro. And I thought, nobody knows who Fran Asaro is. And where does that show up when you're giving somebody your handle name to go find you on YouTube? That's one way. But another way is when you're commenting on other people's videos. And when you comment, your handle is what shows up. And I kept seeing when I left my comments on people or even responded to comments, it said Fran Asaro. And I thought, well, who's going to know? Who's even going to be inspired? And I'm not saying all of these are going to work 100%, But if one works a little bit and another one works a little bit, you're utilizing that free real estate that you have. Why not make it count and give yourself a better chance of it connecting? So I changed it to the senior tuber community. Now, that still doesn't explain me completely, but hopefully it's enough to inspire them to say, oh, senior tuber community, I'm intrigued, and then they'll go in to read more. Then we have pronouns. This is new. If you're pronoun friendly, then you can actually put pronouns on your channel now and they will show up. So if you go here, right next to your handle are your pronouns. If you want to put them in, great. If you don't worry about it. Because some people will be looking for people who are pronoun friendly and people don't care, other people don't care. But that's up to you if you want to be. And if you get to actually decide who gets to see it. Now, I wanted it visible to everyone. It also says visible to only your subscribers. Personally, I wanted everyone to know that I'm pronoun friendly because maybe they're not a subscriber yet, but maybe they will be because I am. So that's why I did it that way. But you may find a different reason. I need to let you know that what I choose to do is my way, not the way. And I'm here not as an expert, but a mentor and a strategist. So I share with you everything that I know. And hopefully that'll take you on a journey to become more inquisitive and to learn and even come back to this group. So just so you know, I want you to know that everything that we talk about here, it could change at any time due to YouTube. There could be multiple ways of doing this and try to find your way of doing it. But this is a way to get you started to know that there is like a baseline and you can start with that. Okay, this is big. This used to be called the About Me on the home channel and your channel page. And it was called the description here. So now they've taken the about out, sort of got their jargon consistent. This is 1,000 characters where you can talk about your channel. Now, this is really important. Let me show you what it looks like before we talk about what the content should be. This is about 82 characters right here. This is that description. It started out as 55 characters when they just changed it this year. Now it's up to 82, and I don't know how that will progress. But right now, you have 82 characters that are your strongest, most weighted information right there. And if they don't ever click this more button, you want them to know as much as they can know about you right here. And if they do see more, that is my description right there. It does say about right there. And what also shows up in there automatically, you don't have to put it in, are your links that we will be talking about putting links in, but you don't have to put them in separate. When you put in your links into your customization area, it's going to show up here automatically with the icons in it. It's also going to tell you how many subscribers you have, how many videos you have, when did you join, how many views do you have, so that people get to know a little bit about you. So if some of you have older channels and you want to delete it and start a new channel, that's fine. There isn't any proof that what I'm about to tell you is true. But as for me, if I see somebody's got a channel from 2009, which I do, and it's in a dormant phase because you can either delete your old channels or just, it's unlisted. Nobody could see it. I like to know that somebody's been around since 2009 and, then they might know a little bit more or have a little bit more information, especially if they're teaching. But that's up to you if you want to keep your old channels or start fresh. So what do you put in here? This is really important. Don't put, hi, I'm Fran Asaro, and I help people start YouTube channels. People don't know you, and to be honest with you, they don't care much about you till you have won them over. So start this off with what's about them. What do they need to see in order for them to stay? You want to tell them about you at the bottom? You can. If you want to tell them, hi, I'm Fran Asaro. If you want to know more about me, go here and send them to your channel or someplace or your video if you want them to know more about you. But during this, let it be about them and what they're going to receive if they hang out for a while. But I do recommend you use as many of these 1,000 characters as you can. There are many places where you have a specific amount of characters to use, and only some of them, well, let's say most of them, you want to use all. Some are all, and some less. And I'll let you know what that is as we go along. Okay, so next we're going to go over to your channel URL. This is the channel URL that you were born with your YouTube channel. This is the one you're going to use when you go to put in, I'm trying to think of some areas, but there are places where they're going to ask your YouTube channel when you're setting up a baseline. Like I have lead pages. Lead pages wants my channel, the code like that, because we actually do have a place to put our custom channel in here, but they don't take it. So if you ever try to put your channel somewhere and they're not taking it, it's because they want your original channel URL. And so you'll take it from here, you could save it somewhere else or put a shortcut to it. So when they do ask for it, you have it at your fingertips. I don't know what the reason is, but you're going to run into that someday, sometimes. And I think AdSense also have it. There are a few places that they do want the URL. And so your custom URL, I haven't changed it, but the reason why I didn't change it is because I did want my name in there. I've been in business for 20 years and I wanted people who were searching me to be able to find my name. So I left it at least in the URL. Here's the next thing. We're going to talk about links. Those are the links that I said were in the description. You get to decide how many links you want. You know, I have a lot of links. I didn't always have a lot of them listed here. Sometimes I had one or two. I'm on a new kick where I'm putting them all in. You could put a link to your website. You could put a link to your Facebook pages. You could put a link to your Linktree. So if you have a Linktree and that's all you want people to see and you don't see all of this, you could do that. I've done that too. I just play around, try different things so I can share with you. And I haven't noticed a difference either way, but you might. You know, we all have different subscribers who have different kind of behaviors and you may want to see how it works for you best. So I don't know how many you can add, but I think you can keep adding, but at least put the ones that you want, the name of the channel or platform that you want to use so that you can go fill it in. Then we're going to talk about your contact information. Should you or should you not put in your contact information? That is totally up to you. I want to be messaged because this is my business. I want people to ask me questions. I want them to schedule calls with me. But if you like to be private and don't want everybody to be messaging you, then don't put it in, or come up with one that's different than the one you always use so you're not spammed. And you can go to Gmail if you want while you're creating your new YouTube channel. If you are, then create a new email address and put that in there. And you don't have to worry about getting people who are spamming you in your regular email. And we're going to finish up here with this section. We have an opportunity to put in a video watermark on our videos. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a second. But there is something that's there if you want a watermark and you don't put in a custom picture. There's going to be something there that when you hover over it, it's a subscribe button. And you get to decide, these are all your options, is if do you want to put it at the end of your video, in a custom start time, like maybe you just want to start in the middle somewhere, or the entire video. I want mine on the entire video because I want people to click on it as much as they can. I have to check if there's any analytics that show if people clicked on that. So how do you do this? You can create something small. It is not going to show up any larger than this. I chose this because it was consistent. You could put a heart, you could put a yin yang, you could put your logo, but you want to make sure you try it out so that you can see if it shows up on most backgrounds, because backgrounds are going to change based on each different video and you can't change it. So I will show you what that looks like. Let me just pull up a video. And if you look down here, this is mine. See if I hover over it, it says the Senior Tuber Community, subscribe. I want as much out there that can promote me, share me, and not overload them. But this is just a normal thing that people could use. And if they click on it, they go to the subscribe option, I think. Let's see. Yeah, now they're subscribed. So as I said, you can put anything else in there, but what you want to do is take this video, go through the whole video, and then go through a couple of them and see if it shows up enough for you. And make sure, because it is a watermark, it's not supposed to interfere with your video. It's supposed to be delicate and sort of discreet, but you may want to see if that, if you're the one you chose, will work with you.
Thank you for watching our free YouTube Creator Training Library, brought to you by the Senior Tuber Community.